What's going on, OCDgenerates? OCDsaster here, and today I'm going to be talking about why I want Sora in Super Smash Bros. So badly. Now, before we get into the video, this is not a discussion based on whether or not I think he's getting in. It's just why I want him in Smash Bros. So if you comment down below, oh, he's not getting in, oh, blah, 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 that's fine. You can say whatever you want, but that's literally irrelevant to this video. This has nothing to do with whether or not his chances are good or bad in Smash. It is me just talking about why I love the character and why I love Kingdom Hearts. So if you don't care, then you don't have to watch the video. That's how these things work. If you do care, hey, how's it going? You probably are a Kingdom Hearts fan if you're going to stick with this video, and I appreciate you. Now, if you don't like Kingdom Hearts and you're still watching this video because you support me, then I really appreciate you as well. So why do I want Sora in Smash so gosh darn bad? I would have to say Kingdom Hearts is probably the most influential video game that I ever played. And by influential, I mean the one that I, one, play the most, and two, has given me the most positive experience a video game has. Now, many of you know I don't play a lot of video games. I have a very narrow scope of the games that I play. But it's just Kingdom Hearts is always the one that I go back to no matter what. And there's a few reasons for that. One, I am a huge Disney fan. Say what you will about the company. All companies are shady. All companies are bad to one degree or another. I like Disney. I've liked Disney since I was a kid. I love the animation. I love the drawings. And then as they moved over into, 3D animation, live action, I still like most of their content. Marvel, not really much Star Wars, but that's kind of irrelevant. Disney was my life as a kid, and we went to Disney World a lot, and I just loved the theme, the designing, the characters. And when I found out that there was a video game that had Disney characters in it, I completely lost it. And then I started playing the games, and they were, for the most part, pretty easy once you knew what you were doing. That's kind of a different story, but once I got the hang of it, I got addicted. The game style, the gameplay, the characters, and I want to be honest with you guys, Sora is not my favorite Kingdom Hearts character. I think he can be quite annoying and quite basic at times. However, he is the main staple, the mascot of the series, so it would make sense for him to be in Smash above anybody else, if he were to even be in Smash Bros. Sora is one of the top characters people want as DLC, and there's a reason for that, because Kingdom Hearts has touched so many people's lives in the western and eastern parts of the world. Originally, they thought Kingdom Hearts was only really going to do well in Japan, but because of that Disney factor, it drew a lot of people all around the world together to at least try the game. And then once they got a feel for the Final Fantasy action RPG game style, they either loved it or hated it. I personally really loved it. Yes, the story can get confusing if you're not paying attention. Yes, it can drag out with the pacing. Yes, some games are better than others, but that's literally any video game franchise. There's definitely a nostalgia factor when playing these games, because you immerse yourself in these Disney worlds that you grew up with as a kid. And then, like I said, you have this playstyle, this combat system that pretty much works for the most part. Even in the games that, switch it up quite a bit, it still works within that universe, and it makes it very fun, very addicting for the people that are invested. And Kingdom Hearts really, I don't want to say changed my life, that's very dramatic, but it helped me in a very sad and dark time in my life. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but there were some family issues going on. Somebody was very sick. They're fine now, but they were very close to me. They were going to the hospital 2 to 3 times a week, and I'm not just talking about like checkups. I mean, like, they would go to the hospital, get hooked up in an IV, and spend 2 to 3 nights in the hospital. They would even, end up being bedridden at home for 3 months. They would miss school for 3 months, and I just had to go about my life watching this person that I love and am very close with just kind of, sit there and be sick and just not be able to enjoy hanging out with friends or doing anything like that because they had to be concerned about their health and everything like that. So Kingdom Hearts was my escape. Video games were my escape. I didn't really want to leave the house. I mean, yeah, I wasn't a huge active sports person to begin with, but like I wanted to be there with that person. Whether or not we were actually hanging out, I wanted to make sure that like I knew that they were safe and that they were okay. So I would corner myself and start playing video games. And, it worked out because most of the video games were played in the living room anyway, which is where that person was camped out most of the time on the pull-out couch as they were sick. And so, although they didn't necessarily care about the game that I was playing, I liked being able to play and be right next to them. And Kingdom Hearts was that game. Smash was too, but Kingdom Hearts was like that one that really made me happy. It made me feel like a little bit of more joy in my life because I was getting very sad and very depressed. I actually remember one time I came home like super mad at my mom. I was in middle school at the time because I got randomly pulled into the school counselor's office to like check in on me, and I thought that my mom was like setting up appointments behind my back or something like that, and she's like, no, I had no idea that happened. Basically, I was so sad and depressed that my teachers actually called on, and they were going out of their way to check in and make sure it was okay. And I mean, as a kid, I was angry because, it's just annoying to talk to people and stuff like that. But in hindsight, I should be very grateful because some teachers just don't give a crap. For those of you that don't know, I work in the mental health system. I can't go into much detail because of HIPAA, but I work with kids who have these, issues and stuff like that. And I can guarantee you most of the time the teachers just don't care. They know things are going on, they can see it, but they're too stressed as it is. They're too worried about their own life that they're not going to step in and help a random kid that's number 62 out of the 200 kids that they have to teach. So it means a lot to me now that the teacher went out of the way to get me that help. But that was just to kind of just clarify like what headspace I was in. But Kingdom Hearts really helped me get out of that headspace. And it sounds silly, but I don't really think it is. When you experience something like that, you need a coping mechanism. And it wasn't like I was falling behind on my grades or I was, not doing well with my hygiene. Like, I was still doing things. It wasn't like video games were taking away my life. I was like addicted to Kingdom Hearts. It was just a nice little session in every part of my day for maybe 2 to 3 hours where I could just hang out with Donald and Goofy, go to these wacky, crazy worlds that I loved as a kid, and just not worry about the real world. So yeah, maybe Sora has a long shot of getting into Smash, but Kingdom Hearts, Smash, and Sonic games, they were like the 3 games that got me through a very long and hard period of my time. And like, that's just me. Like, the person that was actually going through the illness, I still can't even imagine. And they're like one of the strongest people I ever know. They're one of the happiest people I ever know. So like, obviously they went through way more than I did. This is just my experience though. I can't talk for them, but I definitely know that they're way stronger and they went through way worse than what I went through. But I mean, it's hard watching someone you love so close go through stuff like that, regardless of if it's actually you that's sick or not. But like, it would be Kingdom Hearts and Sonic games at home. We would go to the hospital, and sometimes they would have like a portable gaming station with like Smash Bros or Mario Kart Double Dash, and we would play that for hours because that's all we could do, because I was the kind of person that like I needed to be there with them. So when they were in the hospital, I was in the hospital. I missed so much school because I kid you not, it was like 2 to 3 times a week for at least the year. It started to die down towards the end, and like I said, right now they're fine, they're great, they're good. But yeah, it's just, there's more to it than just, oh, I want him to be in Smash. Oh, I'm a Kingdom Hearts fan. It means something to me. And just because I have like this more deeper connection to it doesn't mean that you wanting X character in because of your X connection with a video game or franchise is invalid or not, as great as mine. I'm just saying, if Sora does somehow get into Smash Bros, once again, not debating if he will, but if he does somehow get in, don't be surprised if I absolutely lose it. This is kind of like my disclaimer, my warning, because I will actually just lose it. I will probably pass out because it's 2 of my favorite video games of all time merging together. And yeah, it can be annoying that your sub box is getting spammed with me and Kingdom Hearts and Kingdom and Sora for Smash videos, but I'm gonna keep doing them. I like doing them. If I have stuff to make, I'm gonna make it. And if you don't like that, then you can always unsubscribe. You're not forced to stay here. If you want to see more of that, then please hit the subscribe button and like the videos. It would mean a lot to me. I'm OCDsaster, and I hope you have a smash-tastic rest of your day.